So welcome to another yin practice. Today's intention for our yin practice will be very much restorative. So all about taking care of ourselves, finding love and kindness for ourselves, for loved ones, even for people that we may have difficult times with, and for all beings. So we're going to move through very gentle poses today in the practice. And we're going to rebound pretty much after every pose. So just finding some stillness for about 30-45 seconds after each pose. For this class, you'll want to have a block or two or a cushion. We're going to start by sitting on our heels using our blocks. And so I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to place them underneath my seat just to take the pressure off my knees a bit here. So you can use a pillow or a blanket or some books, whatever you have handy. So if you need to pause the video and go grab that, no problem. If you're someone that can sit up on your heels for a good 5-6 minutes, then maybe you don't need a prop and you can just sit on the heels. But we're going to start this restorative yin with a nice little opening meditation, metta meditation. And metta is a love and kindness meditation. So to begin, you're going to find this comfortable position, making sure that nothing's sort of feeling painful or uncomfortable in any manner. And just take a moment to find that sweet spot for yourself, find a comfortable place for your hands. And you can begin just by closing the eyes and just going inward here, just to smooth out the breath. Take away those jagged edges and just find a little bit of inner stillness here. Don't worry about what the mind does. If it wanders off, just bring it back to the present. Just bring it back to your awareness of yourself sitting on your mat. And just remind yourself to soften here. So soften through the shoulders, soften the belly, soften the face, and just really setting the foundation here for a really beautiful metta meditation. So with the eyelids heavy and closed, I just invite you to listen to my words and just repeat to yourself the meditation. So I just like you to get a vision of yourself, a sensation, a feeling, the energy of you in your mind as we begin here. And we'll begin with sending love and kindness to ourselves and just repeating to yourself the following words. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. Now I'd like you to envision someone that you hold dearly to you, a loved one. And just imagine that person in your mind, bringing the energy to that person. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. And I'd like you to envision, if it's possible for you, someone that maybe you have a difficult time with. And don't worry if bringing that person to light is too much for you. Someone that's hurt you, someone that maybe you have a strained relationship with, or maybe just someone that you have some difficulty with. Now, if this becomes too much to send them these words and this energy, I invite you just to bring it back to yourself. But holding that person if you can, and a vision in your mind, and repeating to yourself, may be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, may live with ease, may be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, may live with ease, may be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, may live with ease. And just letting that vision melt away. And I invite you to bring an energy or a vision of all beings, of the world, whatever that looks like for you. Bring that to the forefront of your mind. And we'll send love to all by repeating to ourselves, may be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, may live with ease, may be happy, may be safe, may be healthy, may live with ease, may be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, and may you live with ease. And just letting that vision of all beings wash away, bringing your focus and your intention to how you feel, your inner self, the energy that runs through you. And just take a nice inhale through the nose and a big sigh exhale through the mouth. Do that 2 more times. You can just slowly open your eyes and arrive, and just bring that love and kindness with you as we move through this gentle practice today. Just honoring yourself and bringing that compassion to your mind, to your physical body, and to your spirit as we move through. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you have those blocks or a pillow or whatever underneath you, just remove them off to the side. And we're going to come to sit on our seat here. And we're going to come into a half wide leg. So I'm going to start actually with my right leg out. So starting with that right leg out, the left foot coming into the inside of your leg here. And we're just going to turn our upper body towards that right leg. And I'm going to take a nice inhale. I'm going to elongate through my core so that I sort of bring myself out of my hip joint there. And I'm going to lead down with the heart just to that natural resisting spot where I feel like there's some resistance. And that's where I'm going to stop and just allow my head, my shoulders, everything just to bow forward here. And just really relax. So I'm going to relax through my legs and let go of any tension. And just allow my upper body, allow gravity to find this nice stretch for the left side body. No need to force yourself down. It's just about allowing here, really letting go, and just allow this shape to stretch out wherever you may be feeling it, whether it's the side, left side, whether it's maybe into the lower back a little bit. Maybe you're feeling it up the hamstrings or the calves. Wherever you're feeling it, bring that attention there. Bring the inhale to fill that region. And as you exhale, soften and let go there. And over time, you might feel like that natural resistance is moving and that you're sort of furthering your upper body down towards the legs. And maybe that feels good, or maybe as time goes on, it becomes a little bit too much. So never fear that you have to back off. You just want to play that edge, as we call it. So just outside that comfortable zone where you're feeling something, but it's not overwhelming. And the best way to judge that is your breath. So as long as your breath is smooth and steady and it doesn't feel like it's forced, or it doesn't become too jagged, you're most likely in that sweet spot. So really just allowing yourself that flow with that forward fold. Having the mindset of love and kindness for yourself. Allowing this stretch, this pose to be whatever it is today for you. No need for more, no need for less. Just having appreciation that your body knows what it needs, and it will just naturally come down to where you need to be. So we're just here for another 5 rounds of breath. Just really letting go through the hands, through the arms, softening the face. And just flow with that sensation of just melting. One final round of breath here. And really take your time. We've been down here for 3 minutes. So as we come up, just slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, helping with the hands. Just coming up with compassion as we come to sit tall here. We're going to take that right leg in for a cross-legged position here. So from here, we're going to find another forward fold. So if cross-legged with the feet right under is a little bit too much for you, you can always sort of release them a little bit. That's okay. Okay. From here, again, just leading down with that heart as we come down. And then we're gonna walk our hands over to that left side and just fold over that left knee to wherever it is for you. It may still be high up here, and that's just fine. We're all looking for that medium stretch. So wherever you need to come down to naturally to find that is just fine. So again, never bring judgment to your practice. Comparison is the thief of joy. So we want to stay with the joy of this pose, the benefits it brings for you. And just washing that sensation of compassion, of love and kindness for yourself. Allow it to flow through your body. Just enjoying these forward folds. Forward folds are extremely calming to ourselves, to our mind, to our physical body. Just reminding yourself to soften through the face, through the arms, through the fingers. And again, just playing your edge where you need to be, that feels right, where you can fully let go, where you're not holding on to any muscle, you're not gripping.
And if you're someone that you've joined this practice and this pose doesn't feel right for you, make an adjustment. Never fear there's any right or wrong, there's not. So if the legs need to look differently, it's no problem. Just enjoy these moments of stillness for yourself and whatever it looks like for you. We'll just take another 5 rounds of breath here. Just allowing gravity to melt you a little bit further down. Just with that mindset of letting go and softening. And as we come up, again, there's going to be no rush. You really want to take your time and just allow the physical body to adjust to coming out of this pose. Allow your fascia and your connective tissue to realign itself as we come out. So we're going to find our rebound here. So we're going to rebound on our back. So we're just going to lie down, extend the legs, arms alongside, the palms can go up. And we're just here for about 40 seconds or so, just allowing our body to rebound, allowing the physical body, the energy body to accept the gentle but long held stretches that we just did. And when we do this, it allows all those soft tissues. So our soft tissues, our fascia, our connective tissue, our ligaments, our tendons, allows them and the cells to realign, to find a better position, a stronger position, a more lubricated position. And it's a great way to keep our mind in that state of stillness, of quiet. And then we're going to slowly bring ourselves back up and find that sequence on the other side. So just again, always taking your time. If you get a head rush, you can just keep that head bowed down for a moment before that sensation leaves. So from here, we're going to extend that left leg long, that right foot into that left thigh. Again, I'm going to rotate myself towards that left leg. I'm going to lead down with that heart to that natural stopping spot, and then allow my head and my neck to bow forward. I'm releasing and telling my legs to let go of any muscle gripping, any tension. I'm intentionally slowing down the breath and relaxing the belly. I close my eyes so I can be more present with myself. And I just allow myself to melt into these sensations. If I notice my mind drifting, I bring it back to my breath and keep that full connection going, mind, body, spirit. And when we do that, it can become very powerful. We live in such a busy world. We're living in a very crazy world right now, with this sort of looming stress on our shoulders, trying to figure out our new norm. And it can be extremely overwhelming. And the more that we can find time to pause and really be with ourselves. And I mean really be with yourself, where you're not plugged into anything, you're not trying to accomplish anything, you're just trying to be. And that can come in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. It could be doing yin yoga, it could be meditating. And meditating comes in lots of different forms. That could be a beautiful walk in the forest, that could be sitting in your backyard and listening to nature. It could be listening to a guided meditation. It could just be lying or sitting in stillness. And really not fearing that, not fearing just being with yourselves, not fearing the stillness or the quietness. Really teaching yourself to embrace it and experience the benefits of that. And we really only know that until we experience it. We can hear something, but we'll forget it. We can see something and maybe remember it, but we don't fully understand it until we actually experience something. And to experience these quiet, still moments and realize the magic that comes out of it during and both after. We'll take 5 more rounds of breath here, just riding that edge. So if it feels natural to allow gravity to bring you further down, that's okay, but don't force it. Don't pull yourself down. Really be in this restorative mindset. Really just enjoying wherever you're at, not needing to get any further. And that's the practice of being in the present moment and not waiting or wishing for the next moment. Letting go of the desire of changing this moment. And we're just going to slowly bring ourselves back up. You may feel a little bit stiff and old, and that's completely normal. It means that you were nicely settled into that pose. And slowly bring ourselves back up. We're going to cross that left foot now in front, finding easy cross-legged position again. Again, taking a nice inhale through that core, elongating and leading down with that chest to that natural stopping spot. I'm going to bring my hands forward, and then I'm just going to walk myself over that right knee and finding that spot for you. Should mention, you can always use your blocks as well. Maybe it feels better to put the forearms onto a block, and that's no problem at all. Always a nice too, maybe to allow the head to come down onto a block. So whatever feels right for you, and just really listening to the sensation. Again, just settling in, allowing yourself to melt over that right knee. If something's bugging you, if the ankle bone or something like that is hard on you, especially if you're on a hard surface, take a moment, shove a sock under there, shove a towel, whatever you might have handy, just so nothing's sort of irritating you, so that you can really just zone in, zone out into this. So after a couple poses here, we've certainly triggered into what is called your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest side of your nervous system. And we have 2 main lines, 2 main systems in our nervous system. So the one that we're just really settling into, this rest and digest, is so beneficial for you. It calms the mind, it calms all the systems of the body. It thins the blood and allows your blood to move more freely through your body. It slows the heart rate. And it sends the signals through your body to the cells to do their job of repairing, of strengthening, of detoxifying, restoring, all these things that our system's made to do. But when we live primarily in that fight and flight side, our body just can't do those functions. The signals then are in the state of stress. Then our body goes into protective mode, where the blood thickens and slows down and the heart rate speeds up. And this is a lot of stress on our physical body. And when we put that kind of stress for long periods of time on our body, we get weakness in our body and our systems. And that's when illness and disease move in. So the more that we can find stillness and pausing and really finding long periods of this rest and digest state, the stronger you will be. We often think we gotta go and accomplish, and that's how we move forward in life and how we get stronger. But really the opposite is true. The more you can pause, the more you can allow the body to heal itself in this rest and digest state, the stronger you will be. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath here. Again, at any time, if the time is just too much and you need to come out of the pose, no problem, come out, find that rebound, lying on your back, knowing that is a pose in itself, knowing that the real yoga is happening inside you. We're just going to slowly bring ourselves back up, 1 vertebrae at a time. There again, if you're dizzy, keep the head bowed down until that sensation leaves you, and then bring the head back up. Nice job. We're going to go ahead and rebound again on our back. So just extending the legs long, lying back on the mat. Bring the palms to the sky in a pose of surrender. And for the next 30 or 40 seconds, allowing the wisdom of your inner body to do the work of repairing, restoring, rejuvenating, detoxifying, and just enjoying the sensations that are running through your body. Maybe you're still feeling the effects of those poses, the energy running through your body. Maybe you can feel it. We often feel it in our toes and our hands. Maybe you feel it into the spine or the side body as well. We'll just take 3 more rounds of breath here. And then again, just really slowly to bring yourself back up. Again, being mindful of any dizziness as you come up to a seated position. We're going to come into a wonderful butterfly pose. So butterfly pose is the meeting of souls. So it's the meeting of the soles of our feet. So bringing the soles of our feet together, and your butterfly can be a little bit more like a diamond if that feels better, or it can be a bit tighter, okay? Whatever feels right for you. If it's tighter, we're working more of the inside of the hips. If it's wider, we're working more of the outside of the hips, okay? So wherever that butterfly is for you, you make that connection with the soles of the feet. Again, we're gonna find a nice forward fold here. So taking a nice inhale, and as we exhale, bowing forward with that heart, finding that natural resistance. When you find that spot, just allowing the head and the chin to bow down. And just find a nice spot for the hands, whether they're just palms up in the pose of surrender, maybe they're sort of tucked around the outside of the shins. Sometimes I even zipper my toes, so I take my fingers and I put them between each of my toes, making space between the toes, and that can be really nice. It takes a little bit. If you've never done it before, it takes just a moment or two to try to figure out how that's going to work for your toes. Often we have very little space between our toes, and we're supposed to have space. We're supposed to have this good space between our toes that helps with balance. So as we spend a life putting our feet into beautiful, tight, uncomfortable shoes, we start losing that natural space, that natural alignment of our feet. And as we age, that can be problematic. It can lead to falls, to imbalance. So I often, whenever I'm in this pose, I do find what I call sort of the zipper effect. So I zipper my fingers into my toes. I'm creating space. Again, trying to let go and soften, so let go of any muscle tension or gripping that you're holding on to, especially through the arms, maybe in the feet. I know we're restricting our belly here, but really just allow it to fall off your frame, just as a hammock would flow down towards the ground. And then just take a moment to scan and make sure that you're encouraging your physical self to soften. So you definitely want to soften through the face and the jaw here. We often clench our jaw when we're stretching our hips. There's a direct connection from the jaw to the hips. And that's sort of an emotional connection. Our hips, that's where we carry our anger, our frustration, our embarrassments, and those are strong sensations. And if you could think about the emotion of anger and how you could demonstrate that, the first thing we do is clench our jaw. So often when we stretch that region, it's just a natural reaction that we bring tension into the jaw. So just really let go through the jaw. You can make space between the upper and the lower teeth to encourage that. You can even remove the tongue and just place it to the back of the bottom teeth, opening up that energy line through the throat, your throat chakra. So again, just allowing gravity to bring you down to where you need to be today. If your forward fold is only even a couple inches from a sort of a sitting up position, that's just fine. If you find forward folding difficult at any time, you can always place a block underneath your buttocks and just hang off the block. That will tilt your pelvis forward and give you the space that you need to sort of forward fold to the degree that works for you. So once again, coming back to the philosophy and the science between your rest and digest, known as your parasympathetic nervous system, or your fight and flight, which is known as your sympathetic nervous system. We often are living in that fight and flight, and we don't even know it. We are constantly on our phones. We're constantly have 24-hour breaking news, and we've become somewhat numb to it. And when we become numb to the breaking news, to the stress, to even violent movies, these things still provide the opportunity for ourselves to be in that fight and flight without us even knowing. We don't feel like we're in that fight and flight, but the baseline is there. So our body is in that stress mode the majority of the time, and it's extremely hard on ourselves. It's extremely unhealthy. It opens ourselves up for sickness, illness, and which often leads to disease over time. So the stronger you can keep yourself, meaning in that healthy, rejuvenating, replenishing side of our system, our nervous system, the less likely that illness and sickness and disease plague our bodies. So the real answer is stillness, is relaxation, mindfulness, pausing. These are all the true doing, the real accomplishments of our life. We'll just take 3 more rounds of breath here, just letting go, softening. And again, to slowly come out of this, we're going to come back up 1 vertebrae at a time. If you zippered your toes like I did, just wait a moment to unzipper them. So I'm just going to bring myself back up. And then I'm really going to enjoy the sensation of taking my fingers out of my toes and help those knees back together. And we're going to rebound this time on our bellies. So coming onto our bellies on our mat here, arms alongside. Whoa, that lower spine might feel it, and that's okay. Bringing my arms alongside, I still have my palms to the sky. And just allowing my body to accept that work of the butterfly pose. I'm going to bring my attention to my breath. Noticing the energy and the sensations, the continued effects of the pose in your body. Maybe you feel it in the outer hips, the glutes, the lower spine. Just being with that awareness that the real yoga is happening on the inside. And it has long-lasting benefits. We'll just take 3 more rounds of breath here. Let go of any muscle tension. And we're going to come into a shoulder stretch here. So you might have done this one on the wall before, but we're going to do it on the floor. So I'm going to bring out my arm straight out from my shoulder socket there. I'm going to have my right palm down, you can see it there, as support. I'm going to roll myself towards the left side. So I'm going to roll onto my left side. I'm using my right hand for support to do this. I'm going to find a position for that right foot. So maybe it's in front, maybe it's behind, maybe it's stacked, feels better. It's all about that left shoulder. I'm trying to get a deep stretch into the front of that left shoulder, maybe into the left chest. So whatever leg position works for you, you find that sweet spot for yourself. And then maybe you raise that right hand up. This is just an option. For me, I like the right hand up. Maybe it floats back a little bit. But knowing this is not necessary, you can keep that right hand on the floor, no problem. You could stack the legs, no problem, even with a bit of a bend for support. We're just really targeting that left shoulder. So wherever it is for you, maybe I should be switching sides here so I can show you. Kind of silly to be away from the camera. So I'll show you here. Left hand out, rolling over. Tug that belly in. There we go. So I'm gonna float that right hand up to the sky. I like my right foot behind. It's just a personal preference. And then I'm just gonna sort of float that right hand a little bit behind me. And that's sort of my sweet spot. But shoulders are a bit of a doozy. If you have any shoulder issue, if you've had any injury on this left side, you may be all the way down here. You may be even still on your belly and just stretching out the arm. So you really want to be mindful of your shoulders. Your shoulders are made up of tiny little ligaments and tiny little nerves all in there and small little muscle groups. So you really want to be mindful of that we don't bring any overstrain with possible injury. So the difference between good pain and bad pain: good pain can be very discomfortable, it could be intense, but there's no sort of burning or sharpness. There's no like pin-like pain. Normally the discomfort's in a larger region when it's a good comfort, or good discomfort, sorry. When it's bad pain, it's normally very targeted. It's almost like the size of a nail. You can sort of point directly to it saying, yep, that's where I feel the pain. If it's really small like that and intense or burning or pinching, these are signs of bad pain and you need to back off and lessen the intensity on the stretch. So always just listening to your body, remembering never compare yourself. Just be with what works for you and knowing the real stuff is happening on the inside. It's not what you look like on the outside. We live in such a material world. We're so used to looking a certain way, having the right clothes, the right house, whatever it is. But really, what really matters in this world is what's on the inside. And maybe some of us are starting to realize that. Maybe we're getting a good taste of it, being forced to be in our homes and realizing the blessing that's happening by doing that. The blessings of pausing, of living in the moment, and just being with yourself. That can be a really scary thing. You know, there was a comedian that I remember once said that she never tries to, or her thoughts in her brain are like a bad neighborhood. She doesn't like to go there alone. And that sort of always resonated with me. You know, it made me laugh, but it really makes sense. Sometimes it's scary to be with your own thoughts. Our monkey brain can be crazy. But what I found over the years is that the more that I can sit with myself, the more I can go beyond the thoughts, to the source, to those moments between the thoughts. And those moments are magic. When the monkey thoughts settle down and you get these moments of pure awareness, you're in that state of just really being with your true self, whether you call it your true self or your soul, your spirit, whatever you name it, the true you. Just take 3 more rounds of breath here. Again, if any time it becomes too much, just back off, even rebound back onto your belly, no problem. And then for me, because my hand's floating, I'm gonna slowly bring it back over and bring myself back onto my belly. I'm just gonna take a moment between sides here, allowing both arms to come alongside, and just noticing how the left shoulder feels compared to the right. Maybe you're feeling that left arm full of energy here, tingly feelings. Noticing that shoulder and arm realigning itself. And then we're going to come onto the other side. I'm just going to rotate myself so that you can see here. So we're going to bring that right hand straight out like a T, palm down. I'm using that left hand this time for support as I roll myself onto that right side. I'm going to bring my leg position that I like, so my left leg behind me, but maybe it feels better with that left foot in front. Maybe the legs stacked, maybe legs stacked and bent feels better for you. And again, maybe staying right down here on the side body a little bit is perfect stretch for that right shoulder for you, especially if you've ever had the right shoulder injury. This might be just fine for you. For me, I'm looking for a little bit deeper to find that edge for myself. I'm going to raise that left hand to the sky and just allow it to float back a little bit. Okay. Once I come here, I'm going to just settle in and remind myself to soften and let go and just allow this pose to do the work. I'm going to soften through my face. So shoulders, talking about them being a doozy. The shoulders, we carry a lot of emotional tension as well. So the two main areas, we talked about the hips, and those are the really super sort of nasty emotions, your anger, your frustration, your embarrassment. Those sit in the hips. And the emotions that we keep in our shoulders, those are the ones, the worry ones. Those are our anxiety, our worry, our fears. When we don't know what to do with that emotion and we're holding on to it, we stick it into the shoulders and it manifests into physical tension. And that's why often our hips and our shoulders are so tight. So not only are we building physical tension just by moving our bodies on a daily basis, and however way you do that, whether you have repetitive motion in your daily life, but we also build up emotional tension in those areas. And so the more we can pause and just let go and soften into these deep stretches, the more we can let go of these emotions that no longer serve us. It's true when they say the past is the past. We can't live in the past. We can have the monkey brain thoughts repeat the same story in our head over and over again, myself included. But it doesn't serve us. All it does is harm us. So the more we can let go of these emotions that don't serve us, along with the story that we tell ourselves, whether it's someone hurt us and we can't get over that, or someone didn't say sorry, we can't get over that. It has nothing to do with us. We gotta let it go and really experience the benefits of just living in the present moment, enjoying whatever that moment is for you. Right now it's wonderful, we're doing yin yoga together. But as your day goes on, life goes on, really just enjoying the moments. Even if it's cooking dinner, just enjoy stirring the pot. Normal moments can be magical when you're present. Why they call it the present moment. It's a present. Someone who no longer is with us today, they would think this present moment would be magical to have one more day. So really enjoy it. Find the beauty in the moments. Find life in your moments. We'll just take 3 more rounds of breath here. Again, if any time it's too much, please back off. Rebound onto your tummy, no problem. Always just doing what works for you. So just slowly bring yourself back onto that belly, really taking your time. That shoulder is probably gonna feel like it's 100 years old. It's completely normal. So really bring some compassion as you inch your way back to that rebound on your belly, arms alongside, palms up. And just let go here. Let go of any doing. Noticing how you feel. How does that right shoulder feel? Can you feel that energy or that realignment happening there in these moments? Just enjoy your breath. Now we're going to rotate onto our backs for a nice spinal twist here. So I'm just going to roll myself over onto my back. I'm going to bend my knees and bring the soles of my feet to my mat. I'm going to cross that left knee over the right. I'm going to lift up my seat and bring it over to the left side. I'm going to open up my arms like a T, and I'm just going to allow those knees to come a little bit towards my chest and then allow them to fall over to the right side. Now, as they fall over to the right side, maybe they sort of start to glide. Let them glide. If the cross knee position is too much, just stack the knees, no problem, okay? Still wonderful twist. These are just little add-ons or options, okay? So either a cross knee or a stacked knee is just fine. If it feels nice, you can always hold on to that top thigh. Opening up that left arm, I like the palm to the sky. Being mindful that you're keeping both shoulder blades on the mat, and maybe you have to lift yourself up to make sure that that's happening. You may want to bring the gaze away from the bent knees. Now, if that's too much for the neck, that's no problem. Bring the gaze to the sky or even to the right side. So as time, maybe it feels like the legs will slide a little bit more, and that's okay. Just let them slide. Really still holding on to that essence of rest and digest, that feeling of compassion for yourself, and just allowing this pose to be and not have any vision, any expectations of what it looks like on the outside. Allowing your belly to soften as much as it can, even though we're twisting here. But twisting for the belly is wonderful, so you're giving a little twist and a squeeze to all those abdominal organs and squeezing out the old blood, squeezing and bringing pressure to all the cells in the abdominal region, the organs, just to stimulate them to do their job of repairing and strengthening, detoxification. Twists are wonderful for your intestines to help with digestion. So it stimulates the intestines to do their work of detoxifying the remainder of our food, bioproducts. As well, twists are fabulous for our spine. Our spine rotates in 6 directions, so we often do a forward and back motion, sometimes a side to side, but to add this twist, to make space between the vertebrae, to add some pressure to the connective and the fascia tissues on the back side of the body, will bring lubrication to that region. As well, with that left arm, maybe you're feeling some sensation there. If you're getting like a real tingly or some numbness, you're gonna wanna bring that hand further down, so towards your buttocks opposed to towards your head. Just being mindful of that. And we'll just take 3 more rounds of breath here on this side. Just enjoying every last moment here. And then again, like always, really just taking your time, enjoying yourself as you release this side of your twist. Uncross if your knees were crossed. And just take a moment to realign yourself on your mat, find that center position. And then you're going to cross that right knee over the left this time, lifting up that seat, moving it over to the right. Knees come towards the chest for a moment as you allow them to fall over to the left side this time, allowing them to slide wherever they slide. Maybe bringing up that right hand to a 45-degree angle on the floor, palm up. Maybe the left hand holds on to that right knee. Maybe you turn your head to the right. That feels okay for the cervical spine, the back of the neck. Always just listening. You know that inner voice, that inner energy that just tells you that something's not right. Listen to that. Always listen to that. And make any adjustments, really knowing that the real teacher is you. And by listening to yourself, you get the full benefit of all these poses. And it can change every day. The outside appearance of these stretches, of these poses, change every day. One day you may feel like you're easily deep into a pose and a position or an image that feels right for you, that gives your ego a good boost. And other days you feel like the image is not what you want. So try to let go of that and just be with the sensations and listen to the sensations, knowing that's your true guide, your true teacher. Again, just trying to soften wherever you're still holding on to. So whether it's the feet or the legs, the muscle, anywhere, just allow yourself to soften, allow yourself to adjust and to let go. And we take 3 more rounds of breath here on this side. And no rush at all. In your own time, slowly bring yourself back to center. If you're cross-kneed, uncrossing the knees. Centering yourself on your mat. And we're going to settle into our final rebound, our pentacle pose, our savasana. Traditionally, we're rebounding here on our back with our legs out to a 45-degree angle, our hands and arms out to a 45-degree angle, palms up. Now, if on the spine is a little bit too much for that lower back, you can always put support under the knees to take the pressure off the lumbar spine. Or maybe the fetal position on the side serves you better, or the belly. Again, knowing it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, we want to be able to fully rebound and relax. So whatever that looks like that for you, just finding that position and then closing the eyes and settling in for the last couple minutes here. Our most important pose, our final rebound. And just allowing the feet to splay out to the side. Allowing the legs to be heavy. Allowing the hips to relax. Softening through your belly. Relaxing through the chest. Soften the shoulders. Allow the arms to be heavy. Relax the hands. Let go through the neck and the jaw. Softening the skin of the face. Allowing your eyelids to be heavy. And then finally, allowing the brain to melt to the back of the skull. And just giving yourself permission to completely rebound here. Giving yourself permission to be fully relaxed. Giving yourself permission just to be. And just keeping that sensation, that energy of how we open the class with love and kindness, allowing that warm energy to flow over top of you. May be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, may live with ease. You can just wiggle the toes and the fingers a little bit. Maybe rotate the wrists and the ankles a little bit. You could bring your arms overhead and just give yourself a really great stretch. You could hug your knees towards your chest. Roll a little bit from side to side. And then just roll on to your side in that fetal position. Take a round or two of breath in that fetal position. And then just slowly bring yourself back up. If you start to feel dizzy, keep that head bowed as you come up to an easy sitting pose. When you feel that head, that brain feels all right to bring it back up, you can lift that head up. Finding a nice comfortable spot for the hands, maybe closing eyes one last time, and just going inward to really make a connection with how you feel energy-wise. How does the essence of who you are feel? You can turn up the sides of your mouth and just give yourself a little little smile and a little thank you for offering up your practice today. May be happy, may be healthy, may be safe, and may you live with ease. Namaste.